When you think about service fleets, most people picture vans and trucks on the road, right? But what always blows my mind is how razor thin the margins are. Miss an appointment by an hour, have a van sidelined, and that ripple is felt across the business the same day.
Absolutely, and it's so true service fleets don't have the luxury of do-overs. The market's getting noisier too. We're seeing more talk about AI, electrification, and regulations, but at the end of the day, downtime is still the enemy. Every minute costs money, and owners feel it instantly.
And it seems like everyone's promising the next big thing. AI dashboards, EVs everywhere. But from what I see, only a handful of tactics actually drop costs fast. Not all tech is a magic bullet.
That's exactly it. The best fleets I know don't chase every new tool. They focus on a few high-impact moves like using the right data from telematics, or dialing in a simple but consistent maintenance rhythm. That's what actually keeps wheels turning and costs under control.
Speaking of data, it feels like the real game changer is the signals you use, not the size of your tech stack. I want to dig into how companies are getting smarter about that. Let's jump into the 5 moves that are actually moving the needle on cost and downtime this year. What surprised me most is how practical AI is getting less sci-fi, more day-to-day. Like automated maintenance reminders based on real wear instead of just mileage. That has a huge ripple effect, right?
It really does. For instance, when AI spots an uptick in fuel use or idling, it can alert a manager before a minor issue snowballs into a breakdown. It's not about replacing people, it's about catching the weird stuff that otherwise gets missed, saving both money and hassle.
And the KPIs aren't complicated either. Stuff like idling minutes per day, harsh braking events, seatbelt compliance. If you keep it simple, you can actually act on it. Too many metrics and people just tune out.
Exactly. Then you layer in predictive maintenance, blending engine hours, fault codes, and mileage rather than just sticking to a calendar. That's how you avoid paying what I call the unplanned downtime tax. Pulling a van for service just before something breaks? That's gold.
Funny you mention unplanned downtime. I've seen shops that pre-approve work orders and run recall checks every time. The chaos goes way down, and costs follow. It's those kinds of details that really set apart efficient fleets. When it comes to telematics and dash cams, there's always a debate. Are they there to help or just to police drivers? The fleets that get real buy-in seem to use them for coaching, not as a gotcha tool.
That's what I see too. The best systems send out weekly auto reports, flag outliers, and then managers have quick, positive check-ins. It's more like, hey, you had a rough week with braking, let's work on that, instead of hammering people for every tiny blip.
It's interesting how that changes the culture. When drivers know it's about improving and maybe even getting rewarded for clean weeks, they're a lot more engaged. Retraining only when patterns persist feels way less punitive.
And it takes, 10 minutes a week per driver? That's a tiny investment for safer roads, lower insurance, and fewer headaches. Plus, supervisors can track improvements and set just one focus for the next stretch, so it's never overwhelming.
Speaking of overwhelm, let's talk about electrification. Everyone's talking about going all EV, but most fleets can't flip a switch overnight. There's a smarter approach that's gaining traction. I've been seeing more fleets testing EVs, but only on routes where it truly makes sense. Short, repeatable drives, home or depot charging, and predictable payloads. No one's jumping in blind anymore.
Exactly. And they're running the numbers full TCO with hardware, training, even a fallback plan if a charger's down. That makes the transition smoother and prevents nasty surprises mid-pilot. Plus, confirming payload and upfit needs upfront avoids costly mistakes.
And when it comes to replacing vehicles, the smartest operators don't just run them into the ground. They look at the next 24 months. If repairs, fuel, and downtime will cost more than upgrading, they make the move, especially if flexible financing covers upfits and frees up cash.
Spot on. I've seen budgets get crushed by holding on to a van just a year too long. Flexible terms, apples-to-apples comparisons across builds, and including upfits in financing, it's all about reducing surprises and making every dollar work.
That actually leads into how the best fleets are making these changes stick, using a clear, 90-day plan and avoiding the traps that stall progress. Let's break down what works and what to steer clear of for anyone planning to cut costs and downtime this year. Last week, we got stuck on how to move from ideas to real savings. Turns out, mapping a 90-day plan baseline data, quick wins, then structural changes is what separates talk from traction.
It's wild how fast you see results. Something as simple as automatic idle shutoff can slash fuel bills, especially on HVAC or plumbing routes. And don't underestimate routine tire alignment or standardizing upfits. Those small steps add up to big dollars.
But it's easy to get tripped up by subscription sprawl, paying for overlapping tools that all do the same job, or pilots that fizzle out because nobody owns them. Consolidating platforms and setting clear success metrics keeps things on track.
And watch out for over-custom upfits. Specialty racks with months-long lead times can strand vehicles and make future replacements a nightmare. Standardizing by role and keeping parts common prevents that headache.
If you're wondering how to get all this done without hiring a fleet army, there are companies stepping in with fractional management, streamlined repair oversight, and apples-to-apples purchasing. It's about making 2025 cheaper. And, honestly, a lot calmer for everyone involved.